The 2023 elections. Since 2022, SBM Intelligence has been carrying out an election series that has not only focused on the presidential elections, but also down-ballot positions. SBM Intelligence believes that whoever the people are that get elected into the federal and state legislative houses, as well as governors' offices, matters greatly, as they are capable of impacting the lives of Nigerians faster than whoever becomes president. SBM Intelligence has provided analysis on the major stakeholders in the election, the umpire, that is the Independent National Electoral Commission, and how the current state of the country's security architecture could impact the elections. SBM has also gone on to analyze some state and legislative races, with more to come. The goal is to help Nigerians make well-informed decisions at the polls. You can see it all at sbmelectionwatch.com. As Nigerians get ready to go to the polls on February 25th and March 11th, 2023, the focus has been on the presidential election. This is not unreasonable, as it is the highest office in the land, and for the first time in Nigeria's political history, there is a viable third-party option, Peter Obi's Labour Party, which has set the stage for the election to be the most competitive yet. Worthy of honorable mention is that the election series has assessed the chances of the major presidential candidates, Bola Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar, and Peter Obi at the polls, and also predicted that Rabiu Kwankwaso of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, could serve as a political wild card to any of the major contenders. SBM Intelligence is of the opinion that the APC candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the frontrunner in this month's election. However, the alleged Northern APC conspiracy by the candidate could mar his ambition. And there seems to be a cold war between the president and the candidates of the ruling party, with Tinubu seemingly of the opinion that President Muhammadu Buhari is not supporting him. Tinubu has accused the president and his inner circle of triggering a long-running petrol scarcity and implementing the currency redesign to throttle his chances of winning. Therefore, the strength of Tinubu's allegations against the presidency were examined. Also, SBM Intelligence has interrogated the concept of political endorsements in the Nigerian context and discovered that the power of endorsements relies largely on the endorser's influence and following. INEC has been at the center of the election series and was featured consecutively in the election security briefs, which was first released on the 16th of January 2023, as there have been concerns that the Commission may not be ready to conduct elections beginning on February 25th, 2023. There is a tendency for the elections to be postponed, considering the high level of attacks on the Commission's facilities. As a result of the attacks, INEC has not been able to ensure the seamless collection of the permanent voters' cards, PVCs, by Nigerians, or provide updates on the status of PVC collections. But the truth remains that the outcome of this year's elections hinge on PVC collection. Therefore, INEC needs to display its readiness to conduct the polls. SBM Intelligence is of the opinion that in this year's elections, voter turnouts will rise, but the persistence and security in the country will have a profound impact on the credibility of the polls. The passage of the Electoral Act 2022 is also expected to be a game changer for Nigeria's elections, although this is not likely to happen considering the BVAS challenge in the off-cycle gubernatorial elections in Ekiti and Osun in 2022. Nevertheless, INEC still gets to call the shots, as the law did its best to address all the issues that have prevented the conduct of credible elections in the past. The matter of trust in the electoral body is also important. Only 60% of voters in a recent SBM study said they trust INEC to conduct credible elections in 2023. The election series has also shown a spotlight on the political climate of some states. Lagos is seen as the ultimate prize in Nigeria's politics, as it is the most populated and economically buoyant state. The failure of the state's House of Assembly to check the actions of the executive has been discussed, especially in light of the NSAR's protest in 2020. Lagosians now have an opportunity to change the narrative on the 11th of March, 2023.
Here in Oshodi, the commander says the all-night raid by his men paid off, as over 100 suspects were picked from various locations within the local council.
SBM has gone on to interrogate the impact of the Nigerian Army's involvement in policing duties in Lagos State, which led to the arrest of 116 thugs in the Oshodi area of Lagos State, and how this could impact the ambition of the APC candidate. It is also important to point out that military intervention in the state has set a bad precedent for the future. Ogun State was not left out, as the state has failed to fulfill its potential and take advantage of its proximity to Lagos. Whoever wins the forthcoming election will take on the burden of changing the narrative. Although the incumbent is expected to win, the rise in voter registration could spring a surprise. Moving from the southwest to the southeast, the gubernatorial race in Enugu was analyzed, as this year could be different for the People's Democratic Party (PDP), which has maintained a stronghold on the state's politics since 1999, as the party has failed to develop the state. In Abia State, SBM provided insights into what could play out at the governorship election after the death of Professor Uchenna Okone, the PDP's governorship candidate. His passing may have provided a silver lining for the opposition in the state, as there is a high level of dissatisfaction with the performance of the outgoing governor, Okezi Ikpeazu. In the North Central region, SBM has made a case for the reclamation of the food basket of the nation. The governorship candidates in Benue State must prioritize the security of the state and the utilization of the numerous natural resources to provide economic prosperity for the people. Over to Taraba State in the Northeast region, it remains to be seen whether the PDP will maintain its reign, as the party has never lost a gubernatorial election in the state since 1999. A key highlight of SBM's election series has been the discourse of salient issues that have affected the Nigerian state, one of which is increased women's participation in governance, which has been greatly canvassed for. But this hinges deeply on the composition of the National Assembly, as the elected members have the power to make laws and policies that will promote women's political participation. Voters have named security, the economy, corruption, and fuel subsidy as the most pressing issues they expect the next government to tackle. Furthermore, there are concerns about the legitimacy of the exercise itself. Almost 70% of voters want to see stricter laws governing the use of funds for political campaigns. That's a state of affairs that falls squarely within the legislature's prerogative. However, under the Buhari administration, the National Assembly has done very little in terms of checks and balances, but has been swift to take action on matters that affect their interest. The Nigerian state is also notoriously known for pardoning the excesses of the executive. With regard to that, SBM Intelligence has expounded and clarified the importance of local government autonomy in the country. These issues bring to the fore the need for Nigerians to pay attention to who they vote into the various legislative houses. In conclusion, Nigerians should set legislative agendas for elected officials and be ready to reward and punish them accordingly.